Good morning, Diane here. For today's class, you're going to need a few props, a mat, of course, a chair that won't move, that's sturdy, preferably has no arms. So that might be the folding chair from your card table set or a kitchen chair. Just make sure that if it's a folding chair, it's completely unfolded before you sit down in it. We will need light weights and a strap. So let's begin in that chair. Coming to the edge of the chair, just scoot forward so that your feet touch the earth. Now lift all of the toes and press them down into the mat. And as you do that, lift up the crown of your head. Now roll the shoulders up, back and down a few times. Just to relax the neck, the shoulder area, the upper back. One more up, back and down, and then we'll let the palms land on the top of the thighs. Now your call whether you want palms up or palms down. Whatever really works for you to relax and to drop into your breath. So reach the elbows down towards your lap. And just begin to notice your breath. We're not trying to change our breath. We're not trying to judge it in any way. We're simply noticing its qualities in this present moment. The coolness of the air as it comes in through the nostrils with your inhale. And the warmth of the breath as it exits your body in each exhale. So this steady in and out. Realizing that if thoughts arise as we're focusing on our breath, that's perfectly natural. We're human beings with human minds, and the human mind is a wonderful thought machine. So if a stray thought does arise, just ask it to float out the window in the room that's your mind and refocus your attention on the breath. Perhaps a simple way to focus on the breath is to simply have this silent mantra, breathing in, breathing out. So I'll mind the time and just allow you to enjoy that big, beautiful breath of yours. Just breathe. Now, at the sound of my voice, come back to the room. Allow your eyes to open, just as you might first thing in the morning, just fluttering them open and closed a few times before you allow everything to come back into a soft focus. And we'll begin with equally gentle movements to get our body going. So if you've got a strap handy, grab it. We're just going to do a few leg stretches. So pressing down into the mat with the left foot, let's lift the right foot up off the mat and then loop the strap around the bottom of the foot, just below the ball of the foot. Now let's roll those shoulders up, back and down one more time, and then pin the elbows rather close to our side body. Now extend the right leg, forward at any angle that is comfortable for you and your low back right now. And bringing both ends of the strap into the right hand, we'll grab the side of the chair with the left hand. We'll just do some gentle movements out and back. So rotating the toes out toward the right, and we're just sliding on that chair. Feeling a stretch in the inner seam of the right leg. And then keeping the strap, transferring it to the left hand. We're going to grab with our right hand the right side of the chair and slowly come over toward the midline. Now we can't really cross over when we've got that bent leg, but we can move it toward the center of the chair. But if we do want to cross, you can slide the left heel forward, plant the left heel here, and then move the right leg across the midline. So you basically have the knee, the right knee tracking over the left. And the toes now are pointed toward the left side of the room. Those right toes are reaching toward the left side of the room. Beautiful. Now let's rotate those toes so they're looking at the ceiling. Bend the left knee and then flip the strap off the right foot and let that right foot come back down, bending the knee. We'll do it on the left side. Press down into the mat with the right foot and then extend the left leg long. Nope, bad instruction. Let's lift that left knee, loop the strap around the bottom of the left foot, and then extend the left leg long and strong. Now keeping ourselves anchored by pressing the right foot down into the mat and grabbing the bottom of the chair at the side here with the right hand, rotating the left toes out to the left. We'll do that gentle motion, sliding across the chair's surface, the seat, and then just gently moving back and forth. The left toes are pointed toward the left wall. And you notice we're sitting tall. We're not crunched over. The crown of the head is reaching up toward the ceiling. So we've got all this beautiful space to work with. Feeling a nice unwinding in the inner seam of the left leg. Opening up the hip area. Beautiful. And now we will stop right here in the center. Toes are now facing up toward the ceiling momentarily. Both ends of the strap into the right hand. Left hand grips the side of the chair. Now we're rotating the toes of the left foot toward the right side of the room. And now we're doing a similar slide across the chair seat. Just coming close to the midline. And if we want to cross over our midline, we do the same thing here as we did on the other side. We straighten the right leg out at an angle by sliding the right heel forward and then pressing into the mat to anchor us. And now you can get the left knee over the right knee, or at least close to that. You're getting a little bit of a deeper stretch in your outer hip area. Beautiful. First, we'll bend the right knee, press down with the right foot, bring the left leg so that it's in line with our hip. Toes are pointing toward the ceiling before we take the strap off, bend the knee. Press the tops of the palms on the tops of the thighs, lifting up tall, pressing the palms down to lift up. And we'll begin to warm up the side waist by bringing the arms up and overhead, grabbing that strap so that we've got this wide angle with our arms. And feeling free to adjust this as we bring it up toward the top of our head. Now stopping anywhere here that is comfortable for our shoulders. And then we're just gonna drop it down to our knees, bring the strap up toward the top, working with our breath. There's no real magic. You can bring the strap down on an inhale and bring it up on an exhale, or vice versa, as long as you're breathing. That's the important thing. So one more coming down, one more coming up. Now we're in that wide V, Urdhva Hastasana. Lift up tall, press down into the mat with those feet to anchor you as we bend over toward the right slightly, any amount, until we feel the left side waist or the side body stretch from the armpit to the hip point. And then coming back to the center, lifting up tall first, extending the spine before bending the opposite direction, crunching a little on the compacting on the left side as we extend from the right armpit to the right hip point. And then we'll go slowly back and forth and just notice where the weight is in your sit bones. Now when you drop over, for example, to the left, it's easy to become light in that right sit bone. Anchor yourself evenly. That will mean that you're really stretching the side body, and also you're keeping yourself in a safe and secure alignment. Sometimes these metal chairs can be slippy. One more to the right, one more to the left. And we'll bring this strap down and put it aside for the time being. We're going to warm up, do a little cardio before we begin to lift our weights. So hanging on or grabbing either side of the chair to secure yourself. We're going to suck the belly button in and up, lift up tall, and begin simply marching in place, lifting the right foot and keeping that an active foot, pressing it down, and then doing the opposite. So let's do a few march motions here. You can feel that your ab muscles are really doing the work. So we're waking up the abs as we are getting a little bit of cardio going. So you might want to go a little bit faster. You might want to add a little breathing. Good. One more lift of the right knee, one more lift of the left, then we will release the hands. And sitting up tall, let's do a little twist. And all it is we're going to combine this. So as we lift that left bent leg, as we did, we're just going to tap the other side, the outer side of the left knee with the right palm, and then do the opposite. And you see my other hand is grabbing the back of the chair. So I'm very purposefully and slowly marching as well as twisting. I think we're at 5 right here, so we'll do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll pause. Just pause and take a moment with the palms on the tops of the thighs to reconnect with your breathing. Let it all settle. Now we'll finish with a little bit of ab work as we are doing a little more marching in place. So bring those arms out in a wide T. Bend the elbows slightly, knit the hands together, and you see palms down. And I've knit them together comfortably, flipping them, bending the elbows out. And now I've made this catcher's mitt for the back of my head. And press the back of your head into that catcher's mitt. Oh boy, that really helps lengthen my torso. Particularly the center of my chest. Now from this length, we'll take an inhale, press down with that right foot into the mat as we lift the left leg, and we're just going to turn and aim our elbow at the right knee. We're doing it slowly once, and then we'll be quicker the next few times. Press down again with the left foot now. Lift the right knee, twist, and then aim the left elbow toward the inside of your right knee. So it's not super twisty. The feet are active. And I'll count out 5 of these. So 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 2 on the right, left 2, right 3, left 3, right 4, left 4, right 5, left 5. And now release the hands into that wide V. Flip the palms now so they're looking at the floor, and just let them come down. And then we'll just shake it out with some hula hoop hips right here in the chair. Well, let's do the chin roll first. So drop the chin toward the chest. And then keeping it close, roll over toward the right so you're looking gently over your right shoulder. And then come down to the center. And then roll over to the left. And imagine you've got this bell attached to the tip of your nose. And you're ringing it gently by gently swinging the head from side to side, always keeping the chin pretty close to your chest. Beautiful. Lifting up tall. We're going to press down in the feet, heavy into the earth, tip forward. This is our 12 o'clock. We're going to do like a rock around the clock. Now, come on over toward the right. And there's your 3 o'clock. Now, curling the tailbone a tad, let's sit back toward the back of the chair. This is our 12 o'clock again. And now rolling over toward 9 o'clock. And you can feel the the weight shift not only in your sit bones, but in your feet. So we're aware that we are firmly anchored with those feet. So rolling, rock around the clock from that 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Massaging the low back. And when we are in the center, the next time, we reverse the roll. So reversing the roll. Go in the opposite direction. You may need to slow down if you find a sticky spot. And you will most certainly experience a different spine and everything else when you go the opposite direction. So one more rock around the clock here, and then we'll come to stillness. We'll meet up in that top of the clock, 12 o'clock position, and feel as if we have evenness, front and back, and right side, left side. One last warm up here for the spine, pressing the feet down into the mat and lifting up tall. Purring cat and angry cat in the chair. And it works pretty much the same as on the floor. It starts by tipping the tailbone up and back. So we're reaching toward the chair seat back and the back. And we're reaching the belly button forward. And we're deepening the curve in our low back. And our shoulders are coming along for the ride. And maybe even the palms of the hands are drawing closer to the tops of the thighs. And then we reverse it by tucking an imaginary tail between our legs, arching our back deeply, rounding it deeply, and now dropping the head and letting the neck relax so that we're looking at the chair between our legs. And you may, again, as we roll back and forth from purring cat and angry cat, you may notice some sticky spots where you would like to linger a little bit longer or go through a little bit more slowly. The shoulders will certainly be coming along for the ride. The hands gliding forward and back on the tops of your thighs. When we reach into the purring cat, thinking of the belly button pressing forward and the heart center looking at the spot where the wall meets the ceiling, but keeping the chin level with the floor and the back of the head and neck in line with the spine. One more purring cat, one more angry cat, and we'll all meet up at center. Take one more centering breath here as we come to stillness. Now let's fish around for those light weights. And for this, make sure that you've got a really good positioning. So you want your feet perhaps a little bit wider here, wider than your hips distance, maybe even having the heels in line with the front legs of your chair. And we're pressing down evenly with the feet, pressing the sit bones securely into the chair seat. And most important, as we're lifting the center of our chest, we're making sure that the belly button is pulled in toward the spine so that we've got a really solid base of operation. So let's start with biceps. Let's flip those weights so that our thumbs are looking up at the ceiling. Pin the elbows in toward your side body. And we'll count up slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's just rest the weights on the tops of our thighs, around the hip crease, as we roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Bend the elbows, make soft fists, and do a few wrist rolls here. Shake it out. Grab the weights again. Now this time we'll do some more biceps before we go on to anything else, but we're going to do it a little more quickly. We'll do alternate weights, alternate sides, and we'll do that 10 times. So ready, elbows in and lifting up tall. I'm pulling my belly button in toward my spine. So it's right 1, left 1, right 2, left 2, right 3, left 3, right 4, left 4, right 5, left 5, right 6, left 6, right 7, left 7, right 8, left 8, right 9, left 9, right 10, left 10. And then we'll release those weights. Let them rest there at the tops of your thighs. We'll bring the arms straight forward. Then wrap them together. So we're resting the right elbow in the crook of the left elbow, bending that left arm so the forearm is bent forward. Those fingers are facing up toward the ceiling. Now what do? I use the forearm on the left to bring the right arm a little bit closer to the center of my chest. Now notice I'm pulling my shoulder down and away from my ears on either side, but most particularly on the right. Beautiful. Now we'll unwrap and rewrap. So now we've got the left elbow in the crook of that right arm. We'll flip the palm of the right hand so it's looking up at the ceiling, bend the right elbow. Now the back of my hand is facing the front of the wall. Fingers are fanned wide. Now I'm using that to press the extended left arm a little bit closer to the center of my chest, my upper chest. And again, this left shoulder is reaching down away from my ears. So I'm not trying to take it in the neck. I'm stretching this part of my shoulder. Beautiful, and then we'll shake it out. And let's do a little more work for the upper body. Take the weights so that your knuckles are looking at the ceiling, your thumbs are looking at the floor. And we're just going to take it a little bit wider so that we can bring the weights down in line with our hips and then come up slowly so that the weights are no higher than our shoulders. So it's just a simple coming down and going up. And what we're noticing is that our wrists and our elbows remain in line with the shoulders. That's very important. And keeping us, even though the arms are fully extended, we do have soft bends in our elbows. We don't want to lock any joints out. And to maintain this slow and even movement, my core muscles are working like crazy cakes. So one more lifting up, one more coming down, and bend those elbows and let the weight sit at the tops of the thighs. As we reach the left arm out, bend the wrist so that the fingers are pointing down at the floor, then wrapping the right hand around those four fingers. My left thumb is resting on the side of my right hand, and I'm just gently pulling or pressing the left hand toward my body, toward my torso. A stretch for the top of my wrist. And then conversely, lifting the fingers of the left hand, they're looking up at the ceiling. And I'm wrapping the fingers again with the right hand, and I'm gently pressing the palm back toward my face. So I'm feeling another nice stretch in my left wrist. Shaking it out, doing the opposite side. This time, think about as we extend this right arm out, plugging the right arm into the shoulder socket. So we're not forward, we're in alignment. Bending the wrist, so these right fingertips are looking at the floor. Bringing the left hand to wrap around, and then using the palm of the left hand to press the top of that right hand gently toward our torso. A little wrist stretch or flexion. And then releasing and opposite. Stop in the name of love. Fingertips pointing up toward the ceiling. And now the left palm is working with the fingers in the palm of my right hand, pumping it, pulsing it, feeling a nice stretch in the wrist, shaking it out. This one is 2 actions combined in one. So what we're going to do is come forward. Remember, rock around the clock. We're coming to 12 o'clock. And we're going to bring those weights down on either side. And now my knuckles are looking at the side walls and my thumbs are looking at my legs, the sides of my legs. I'm dipping down, and as I bring them up, I'm turning them and they're coming back. So it's dip down, turn the weights, and then press back. Keeping the elbows close to your side body as you swing or reach back toward the chair back. Beautiful. One more of this motion. And then we'll come back to right side, left side, front, back alignment. So we are balanced and centered. Let those weights rest for a moment as we reset ourselves for some overhead presses. And then some tricep work. So bring the weights up, overhead. See, I've got quite a bit of play in my, or bend in my elbows. So just bring the weights down, and we're reaching the elbows toward the side body. Coming back up. And as we reach those elbows toward the side body and bring the weights down, what we're thinking about is moving the shoulder blades slightly together and down toward our waistband. Or said differently, we're just firming up the shoulder blades. You might think about it as a gentle squeezing of the shoulder blades. That might help. Now I believe we are on 8. So we'll do 3 more, 4 more. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring the weights down. And our last weight lift is something for our triceps. So let's use one weight at a time. If you want to place one of the weights, I'm placing my right weight down on the mat within easy reach. Bringing this arm out with the weight. So I've got the left arm and here's the big end of the weight and the big end of the weight. So my knuckles are looking at the side wall. My thumb is looking at the other side wall, bending the elbow. Now I'm bringing the weight back so it's reaching toward the upper back, taking the palm of my right hand, wrapping the fingers around my bicep area. Now this is to keep everything secure. And all I'm going to do is straighten the forearm and then bend it back. And I'll go, that's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to just squeak over here so you can see a little bit better. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. And now very carefully, first release that right hand and then bring the weight slowly down, first to your lap. Then lean forward here, place the left weight down where it will be out of your way. Again, I'm holding the weight in a different way. Bulbous end, looking at ceiling, looking at the floor. Coming up, I'm bending the elbow quite a bit. And I'm not out here. My elbows are looking forward. Now, I may not come this far back. I could do this with my elbow at any angle that supports the comfort of my shoulder area and my neck. Wrapping around the bicep area, wherever you are, and then beginning to lift and lower the weights. And again, I'm going to creep over sideways. I think we've done 3. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And it's a weightlifting exercise getting out of this one. So releasing the left hand and then just bringing the bent arm forward. And now we're done with the weights. So just place the weights out of your way. Bring the arms up and out in this wide T. Bend the elbows, put the fingertips on the elbows. And we'll make some more of the circles for the shoulders, only this time going the opposite direction as we usually do. So we're bringing the elbows down and back bringing the arms up and overhead. And now we're rolling forward rather than it's up, forward and down. So it's a little bit different motion. We're targeting a little more of the back body, the muscles there, and in the upper back, rather than the front of the chest. Releasing the hands, sitting up tall. We're going to take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, bring that right hand up and overhead, landing the palm on the temple area of the left or the left side of your head. And then we're just going to bring, the thing to concentrate on is bringing the right ear down towards your right shoulder. And then scooching the left elbow down towards your lap, moving the left shoulder away from the left ear as the right ear reaches toward the right shoulder. Just getting a little release there in the side of the neck. And slowly coming up to center, releasing the right hand, letting that land on your right thigh, lifting up tall, swimming that left arm up and overhead. Now the left palm is on the right temple. Remember, lifting up tall before you let the left ear drop down toward the left shoulder. Wiggle the right elbow down towards your lap or your waistband. And let the right shoulder just reach away from the right ear so that you can feel as much length as possible or unwinding on the right side of the neck. Terrific. So let's come back to center and release the hands. And then we're just going to do a little tapping of the left palm to the outside of the right leg, swinging over, tapping the right palm to the outer edge of the left, and letting the arm that doesn't do the tapping, let it do what it wants to do. We're just going to loosen that up a little bit more. Slow it down, come to center. One last thing for the neck. Slowly dropping the chin down toward the center of the chest. And then looking up toward the ceiling to open up the front of the neck. So we're shaking our head, yes, very slowly with our breath. Inhaling, exhaling, in whatever pattern suits you. Letting our torso support this movement by sitting tall. Pressing down with the feet, pressing down the sit bones into the chair. One more look up, and then we will meet in the center. So now our chin is level with the floor, level with our lap, parallel, said differently. We're just going to look right, come to center and look left. Checking the rear view mirror. Shaking the head no. One more shake to the left and the right. We'll meet up in the center. And now there's really nothing more to do. Nowhere to go. I invite you to grab the sides of the chair here and just slide yourself back. Make sure that you are connected to the earth somehow. You know, if you've slid back so far that your feet is lifted up, you can always take a couple blocks, place them in front of your chair, and put your feet on them. That can be comfortable. You want to sink into the back of the chair, the seat of the chair, the block or props, the mat, the earth, and now really choosing what serves your shoulders and the rest of your body well for the hand position. The palms can be turned up toward the ceiling, open for receiving the benefits of your yoga practice today. One up, one down, or palms down onto the tops of your thighs. That's a little more grounding, being receptive more to earth energy. One thing we can know is that we are supported by the earth. The earth has our back. So from this place of safety, comfort, silence, relax back into your breathing pattern. That breathing pattern that belongs to you and no one else. Feel free to direct that healing breath of yours into any area that you might feel some tension or tightness. Feel free to let everything unwind and relax. I will mind the time. You just breathe. Now at the sound of my voice, come back to the room. Invite gentle movements into your body. Maybe lift the palms from the tops of the thighs and touch the fingertips to the thumbs in turn. The index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky finger. Perhaps drop the chin toward the chest, and one last time, roll the head from side to side. And you might scoot up a little bit closer now to the edge of your seat and make tiny circles. Rock and roll. Rock around the clock. Even a tiny purring cat and angry cat. And now, as we open the eyes, putting a subtle smile on our face. Taking one last deep breath, and as we do, we're going to bring the arms up and overhead and bring all of that great energy right down into our heart center. As always, thank you for the gift of your presence today. Thank you for being my teacher. Namaste, my friends. Have a great day.